This week we got our first post-launch Nintendo Switch Direct, Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Kyle is fully back in Destiny 2. We'll never hear from him again. And also playing Octopath Traveler, ? All of that, plus more news on this week's episode of the Download Queue. Episode 78, I believe, is the correct number. I deleted it right before this. We're on a late start, but it's fine. Kyle, how in the hell are you doing?
I'm doing really good. Having a great time. Having a good time. I'm drinking this Celsius. Sad to say, I'm not one of the lucky few who drink. We're not lucky because if you're, sober, that would really be unfortunate. But some people drink a Celsius and it was vodka. It was a high noon seltzer, vodka seltzer, and that is funny. But again, also really bad if you're sober and you accident. That's unfortunate. So you got to be better about that. But just drinking this.
I'm gonna say
a good time.
If you did, one hell of a lawsuit ? Potentially set for life
100%.
potentially.
Yeah, that's all I would want. Like, hey, I just need a modest house and a modest check every month. They're like, oh, okay, you're really simple about this. I'm like, yeah.
Perfect. Kyle, before we get into it, I needed to completely derail the entire show immediately. I told you we were playing Grounded, and I had a major announcement to make.
I'm going to derail your derailing. My whole mic arm just fell off.
Why would you do that?
It's
Is it melting in the California fires?
No, I didn't screw it on tight enough. It just slid right off. I can hear you. Tell me you're derailing while I fix this.
Okay. A little over a year ago, Cat, I will skin you alive. A little over a year ago.
Hold on now. What are you doing with your cat? You can't.
He's down here screaming and being annoying. A little over a year ago, we were doing the show. As many know, my best friend, my poor puppy of 17 years, got away to the Rainbow Bridge. Better place. Now, over 13 months later, I made the decision, and significant credit card debt. I would like to officially welcome Miss Mabel to the podcast. She is a small little baby. She is born on May 28th, so fresh puppy. She is a full-bred Jack Russell Terrier. And she's just the cutest little thing. She has no idea what's going on.
Oh, it's so tiny.
Like the size of an Xbox controller, my guy.
So small. Tiny. Hello. All right, name again, because you were talking and I didn't hear anything. No. I didn't even hear the wah wah wah. I'm looking at that puppy.
Her name is Mabel.
Mabel.
It's like the old babushka.
Oh. This is awesome.
So precious. This is why I've not been playing a lot of games, because I have been on duty. Which is funny, because you texted me on Discord, you're like, we've been on potty training duty, and I'm like, I've also been on potty training duty, but...
It's just very different. That's so funny, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man, congrats. That's so fun. Look at that little puppy.
He's like, oh. Thank you. It was time. Like I said, it's been over a year. Gaming partner in crime. Sea of Thieves boat named after, all the pets named after Raskadoo. Rest his soul. But it was time. New puppy.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for that. Our next pet is going to be my daughter's pet. And that is just crazy to think about because, hopefully, she just gets to be through that whole life with that animal. I'm like, oh, man. And then that's just a whole new angle of it. And also, I know I can speak for my wife on this. We desperately want an animal. We desperately want a dog. So that's awesome. I love how low I am in this shot too, because I'm holding my microphone as well.
You need time to fix it? I can carry on as you fix your...
You're good. I just looked at it on stream. Okay. Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I've been looking. It sucks. It doesn't suck, but there's like one pet store in town that's been like 70 years, and I take care of the original owner at my job. And her daughter comes to see her every day, who runs the store now. And every day she's like, "Oh, we're getting new puppies in, getting new puppies in. Come look at the puppies." I'm like, "Leave me alone. I don't want a dog." And there I am with the dog. It's just bad. Leave me alone. Credit card debt. She's peaceful. She's beautiful. She is literally the size of like an Xbox controller. Like I have one in each hand, and they're the equivalent. So she'll have time to grow. And join me in my new journeys in gaming. Because let me tell you, my buggy in Grounded 2 already. Got my first Canton buggy this morning. Name's Mabel. Riding along with me on the journey. That Kyle is
I
fixed.
love that for you.
You fixed?
No, I'm gonna have to hold it. It's fine.
Oh god.
Yeah, the whole thing fell off. It's a mess. Tell me about Grounded 2. You named it. You already. You or what do you want to talk about? I'm sorry. I was messing with.
No,
my
we
mind.
do Grounded 2.
You wanted to derail the show, and I said let's do it.
We're derailing. Honestly, I haven't put a lot of time into it. It has been pretty much consistent daily updates to it. The launch date of it was very much not in a good place, where I have another friend who I was like, "Hey, you should play Grounded with us." And he hopped in. It was almost impossible first 3 days to play together with server connections, disconnects, save states not working. I saw people losing multiple hours of progress with their significant other playing. That just, none of it, just bad state. Yesterday, last night, another update dropped. He said it seems better, so I pretty much played all morning this morning in between puppy duty outside. Solid. I was kind of talking to you about it when we were playing Grounded earlier. It's such an interesting experience now. I don't want to go super spoilery because you haven't experienced it yet, but so much of all of Grounded 1 is there to a point that it's exciting of what they're going to do next. When we were just playing earlier, we found sour candies for the first time and all these level 3 things, and I'm like, these are all readily available in kind of the beginning area of Grounded 2 now. Like, they're just kind of for the course. This is what you're going to experience. These are the things you're getting now. And instead of being this rare commodity, they're just normal resources. So I'm like, cool. There's going to be higher tiers of stuff and more expansion upon stuff. Same thing with enemy variety. I was talking about the spiders and how in Grounded 1, they're still kind of, we need to tackle this and plan it out. And how do we fight them, take them down? Or in 2, they're just kind of literally all over. They're about as abundant as ants are. So again, excited to see what's after the spiders, what's after the new things they've added. The Omni tool is probably my favorite thing so far. If you are not aware, in Grounded 1, you had to carry, there's different axe varieties, the hammer varieties, stuff like that is all just down to one tool now you get very early in the game. Just popped up like a goddamn groundhog. What was you get it early on in the game, and it doesn't even take up a space. It does not take up an inventory spot. It is just something you have with you through your journey. If you need to cut down stems, you just hold X on it. It pulls it out, does it immediately. If you need to break open molars or break rocks, you hold X on it. It pulls out the tool you need. So it opens up a lot more inventory space, a lot more space to play around, which is good because I've been exploring a lot more. I got my first magic staff this morning and playing around with that and the different armor types and the butterfly armor, and like, it literally, I mean, it's Grounded 2. It is everything in the first game minus zip lines, which at this point I don't think I want because buggies are so superior in every way. With the potential of new stuff to be added over the next 2-3 years. So it'll be a slow burn. Having a good time. I'm happy it's in a more playable state and not losing progress. Because we had to do a couple times where it was, I saved it, he got on, had to make a copy of the save, share that copy with me to hop back into the world again, and just a whole mess that, like, sucks it's there on day one, but doesn't seem to be holding it back. Team player base is great, player count across the board is great. I saw it already, I think, like, day one, the first couple hours, peak Grounded 1's peak player base on Steam, so people are attached to it. I hope it continues on, because it is killer, and I hope it gets better. Grounded 1's still probably better for me as an overall experience, as much as there is to Grounded 2 already, but yeah,
Yeah.
That'll be a
Which
slow
is hard
burn.
to say because it is an early access and they
Yeah.
took stuff out. And I watched one video because I wanted to see someone's thoughts who played it. I have not played it myself, so I am paraphrasing someone else's opinion. But off the two videos, it did seem like it's early access. There's a lot of cool stuff, but you're still like you can't collect the tier 3 items in the world yet and stuff like that, which brings me to like my experience in Grounded when it very first came out of like doing it and like, oh, well, I keep hitting roadblocks that are just you can't solve in the game, so not going to be able to do it. So that, that keeps me away from it, but I love hearing and seeing what's going on with the game. It looks like awesome. It definitely has more than when Grounded went into early access. The roadmap, looking at it, looks cool. It does seem very, very spaced out though. Where it's like, oh, there's going to be like big
Really?
chunks of time where we're not getting updates. But again, that's kind of the Game Pass model. And I think that's honestly okay. So I'm excited to hop in probably around winter fully into this. I think we're going to keep working on Grounded and such. But awesome to see the player base, especially the adoption on Steam. That's really cool for Obsidian and for Grounded too. Like it's a great franchise. We're having a blast in Grounded. Like I referenced, I played it when it first dropped in Game Pass in early access. So it's just cool to see the evolution of it and to see people. It's working,
I'm surprised. I didn't know that until you just said that you can't get like the level 3 stuff in the world yet. Like I haven't even reached that point of that being a necessity or like needing to be an obstacle to overcome. So I'm like, well,
Yeah, and that opinion from that person was more of like, it's here, so it's like, oh, well, but I can't do it. So it's like the imbalance of you have some stuff that is tier 3, but I can't access it. So it's like the minutia of being early access.
I do really enjoy exploring earlier into the park is fully there. Like you can see the other areas they're adding. Obviously not textured. Like it's just kind of a flat landmass for now. Nothing's really added. But if you get to like the edges of the world and walk around, they just straight up have like yellow construction tape on poles that says under construction for like the new stuff coming out. I'm like, oh, that's fun. Like it's not just kind of like a endless void. Like they have it kind of built in, and the story so far has been more interesting. Immediately with a twist at the start that I was not expecting, and maybe kind of sad, but kind of diving into more unanswered questions from the first game that, again, it'll be a while till we get full answers to, but pleasant twists and surprises so far. So I'm happy I'm enjoying it because early access is something I've avoided. I think we've talked about this a couple times with like Hades 2 last year of I did not want to touch that game. I still don't want to touch that game till it is final for reasons like that. Because by the time that it is a full release, am I still going to be invested? Am I going to be around playing it with the final content added? So it's kind of a toss up for me so far.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, and then it's going to be cool with Grounded 2 to see this evolution of how they're doing early access. They feel like they kind of figured something out with Grounded, and now they're going full bore into that style, that collaboration, and like this is intended to not be complete because we want to see how the community interacts with it and what they say and what our partners at Eidos say and stuff like that. So it's going to be cool to see the evolution again of this game, and can't wait to see like what they have in store, like, because yeah, it's just what other environments. It just seems like there's a lot of cool stuff already. So exciting to see.
Obsidian killing it. Outer Worlds 2, I'm down. Throwing away my preconditions from Outer Worlds 1, like I'm going in fresh state of mind, open eyes, give me excellence.
I'm hopeful for it, but again, yeah, I'm just going to be excited to download it and play it one day, and that's all I really need out of it right now.
That's all you need out of it. You have been stuck in a void in space. Still on Destiny 2. 3 weeks in a row now, it's been a topic, which I'm down for. I'm just more surprised than ever. I said last week, every time I get on, if you're not appearing offline, it's Destiny, non-stop Destiny. 11 p.m. Destiny. Afternoons, Destiny. Did a Destiny midday stream this week when I was at work. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Schedule's going to be changing while it's getting new jobs. So like last couple weeks have been odd. I've had more free time. It's lined up kind of perfectly. Life is now going to get a little more structured, which is awesome.
Nice.
But no, I've just been playing a lot. The grind is there. It's all new. So as of right now, I hit last night power level 300, which is kind of the next roadblock. You got when you first start, everyone was set 10. 200 is the power cap, and then the seasonal cap is 450. 300 is your next road mark, and that took like 2 weeks. And let me tell you, it's grinding just one activity. And this is where kind of the issues are currently. The most efficient way to just get that number to go up and up and up is to grind solo ops. It 3 to 5 to 7 minutes when I'm being bad. 3 to 7 minutes a run, you're getting 4 to 5 gear score higher, and then you just infuse, boom, 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 boom. You're just letting that number go and rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And I did that one stream for like 3 hours, and like I'm okay with it. It's weird. It's not a good progression, and I think as much as I like the gameplay, as much as I like this expansion, we are clearly in a setting the foundation. I think I've said this already on the show, but they're clearly setting a foundation for the future, kind of trying to build something from the beginning, trying to reset the power level, trying to reset the sandbox and everything for new players. Like that's what's going on. It feels like, and it feels like they're trying to figure out how to onboard new players into activities with the portal. And that has so many growing pains. Like I said, the most efficient way to grind power this year so far is not like running old stuff. I'm running the same lost sector over and over and over again. And this isn't new to this year. Using it in the portal and having random objectives, loosely random objectives appear, like that's new. But other than that, it's the same thing I'm running over and over and over, which the map is technically from Destiny, the original Destiny. It's in Archer, like on the moon. So, like the area I'm running in is even older than that. So it's weird. That's not a good thing. But I'm also playing more than I ever have. I've seen online a lot of people echoing kind of the same thing I am of, yeah, there's not a lot of new stuff, but I am playing more than I ever have. And then there's the hardcore, and then there's the audience that are like, this is just a grind and there's nothing here. They're setting it up, man. They need more though. Portal needs some tunement. There's a lot of adjustment that needs to happen. So I hope they're quicker with that. I hope, next week, 2 weeks, like before the next big update in like 30 days, I think we need to have a bigger update than just little weekly stuff. They need to address some things. Until they do, it's going to be probably a downward hopeful of it. But I'm hopeful like when we get closer to expansion, right? So that's kind of where my current state of it is. That grind to 300 broke me, and I'm not like that. There's still 100. I gotta get to 400, and then the grind to 450 is what's killing people. That's what's like the streamers are like, "Whoo, that's rough." And I'm like, "Damn, dude! Like, I thought getting to 300 was a little rough because it's the same stuff." So we'll see.
Do you know what it is necessarily this time around that's been that hook again compared to the last expansion, which seemed to have a more
The portal.
That's that.
The portal. I'm able, like, I understand. Oh, I need to I want to get my light level or my power up, right? And then I'm able to then do the master level conquest and then grandmaster. So I need my power up. How do I do that? I need gear. My arm is lowest. Oh, this lost sector is having arm focus right now. I'm going to get an arm piece from it. There we go. And then you're in, and you could see 5 to 10 minutes, and like the way they're presenting it just makes it easier to hop in and out of. And I think that is something that can't be ignored. And I think something that is a great, like, we're here. Like, that's such a solid piece. Now let's improve it. But it for me, I think it is the portal getting me in and out of stuff a lot quicker. Like, I've run exotic missions more than I ever have. Like, I was grinding one exotic mission one night over and over and over. I didn't do that before. And that just, sure, it's not fully fleshed out yet. But when they add dungeons and when they add other stuff, and that's just going to make it easier to like onboard people into those end game stuff. So I think it's a great start. a lot to improve upon, but I see hopefully where they can take it and how it's going to get more people interacting with the system. But it's not good when right now, your new season, your new expansion, everyone is grinding solo missions. It's like, oh, you're not even fire team stuff. It's just go play by yourself in this. That's the most efficient way. It's kind of a bummer.
That's so weird. It sounds like it's more just they found a way to kind of fast track people towards current content without just straight armor dumps or gear dumps on people. Like, still got to work for it. We're going to give you a straight shot to get to that point so you're not feeling left out as stuff drops.
Yeah, and I haven't even touched on tier because now each gear and weapon have tiers potentially 1 through 5. Obviously 5 being the tip toppy and way more stats. It's kind of insane. But to get there is a grind. You need to improve your odds of getting higher gear here to drop. You need to up your guardian rank, which is said in one blog post a week before the expansion came out, and like it's now coming up in streamers and like videos I'm watching. I'm like, yeah, like that makes sense. You got to do your guardian rank, which I'm not going to explain what that is. It also, your power level also matters. It's like accounting different things, but that's not clear. Like, okay, you should be a little more clear about that. Things are supposed to reset that are like worrisome that they're going to reset. I hope they can turn on that. So hey, we're in a figure out phase, and I hope they don't fuck it up.
Please, Bungie, for your own good. Sony's watching you.
They for real. But I think it's okay with this being a little, well, bare minimum on the tail end. Campaign good. Campaign A to Z concise. That's what I liked about Final Shape. It had a campaign that was A to Z pocket, and then it had more stuff after. This contained pocket, but it doesn't have like an activity after. So I think that's okay for a development thing, right? Like, don't push something out that's rinse and repeat. So I don't want to keep rambling about Destiny. We'll keep talking about it throughout the weeks, but
I like that you ended off there with not pushing something out that's rinse and repeat or not fully fleshed out. Ties into something I wanted to bring up. I didn't have in the notes. I apologize. Because earlier this week, I was heartbroken and then came to realization that I don't even want this anymore. And then came to the realization that the game's just biting me in the ass, Kyle. Bloomberg did a report earlier this week on BioShock 4 that has been in development for over a decade at this point. Every year around Game Awards, E3 times, there's always rumors. I remember stuff before that they're having it take place in Antarctica. Slightly more survival-based, maybe. Just continuous change. From the report in Bloomberg this week, BioShock, which has been in development again for the last decade, criticized by executives, especially for issues with its narrative, which I feel is its biggest Achilles heel at this point. The studio will allegedly work to overhaul the story in the coming months. This also comes in part with the removal of Cloud Chamber Games studio head Kelly Gilmore and shifting of creative director Hogarth de la Plante into a publishing role. Employees were told recently that changes are due for the team to become more agile and efficient, which has some workers afraid of layoffs in the coming months and weeks. Which, again, I was heartbroken at first. I'm like, damn, no BioShock 4. But at this point, I don't even know if I want it. And they said it in the report, and if the executives who was publishing or in development or whatever are blaming the story on it, you're not going to get those peaks again. You're not going to get a BioShock 1 twist again in 2025 without it being something so groundbreakingly revolutionary. Like, to me, it seems at this point they're chasing that high again. They're chasing those feelings again. They're trying to stand up to that. And if they do, the fan base isn't going to like it because they know that's what they're shooting for. People are going to be expecting something similar. It's just a weird place to be. And it's a weird thing of like, for me personally reading this, I'm like, this is another Kingdom Hearts 3 situation for me where that game took so long to come out and built up so much hype around it that it was never going to live up to expectations. Like, it's reached an upper echelon of like needs to be a 10 out of 10, needs to have this, 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 and this, and if it doesn't, it's trash because it's been so long. Like, unrealistic. Unreasonable and unrealistic. So it sucks to see. But also in this, was apparently a full remake of Bioshock 1, which I feel we talked about earlier last year, mid last year. That was also supposedly canned at the beginning of 2025. So, series is dead.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, something. If you can't get something to get going after 3 years, you'd think you'd start winding down at some point. Like, what do you? How far along do you get, and then you have to like get where you all of a sudden you look back and you're like, that was 10 years ago we started this. It's something that is kind of silly. And explain it's one of the reasons why the industry is where it's at, right? Just that is not a production pipeline that makes sense in any realm. 10 years. Looking at you, Rockstar, I guess. I know you're on a call, and it's so funny. My brain completely died of anything.
I can change it.
I wouldn't be that excited for a Bioshock 4 if you don't got something, and clearly that's the issue story wise. Don't do it, and then you're just now you most likely they're just IP is being the thing that's like, well, we got to keep going, we got to keep doing this. It's just, well, no, you don't. You don't. You don't. You're chasing something that doesn't real anymore, and that's unfortunate. Layoffs, unfortunately, could possibly happen. That sucks because it is leadership mismanagement down the road, and shouldn't be on the people doing the work they're told to do. It shouldn't be on them to lose their job, but that is, again, that's something that is constantly happening across the board.
It's kind of interesting to me though that, I mean, obviously this is a report, it's not like an official statement from them, but
yeah,
that the team behind it or executives are willing to keep pushing it back. When I think of like movies and stuff, and people always say, oh, this series or IP's been beaten to death and they won't let stuff die and won't come up with anything new, but they're willing to keep giving it time instead of forcing it out, which obviously they want to make money and they think this is the way to do it. But to do that, even it's to me a little bit shows that they have hope, that they see something is there and they just need to finish it, get it there. But it also ties in with Judas, announced 2 years ago from Ken Levine, like went from Bioshock to this and is supposed to be spiritual successor to it. So I'm like, where is that one at? Because we got the big reveal. A year later, he did the big deep dive with IGN. They got to play it and talked about how they built it kind of like Lego blocks of how pieces of the game and levels can be switched out based on your actions and all this stuff. And it's been silent since. It's been a year since. Like, so what is that also reaching similar issues or in a same boat of uncertainty, I guess, is what I'm looking for?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be more worried about Bioshock than Judas. Judas seems more not at the same level, but akin to like a Druckmann, a Kojima type thing where it's like, no, this is a Levine game, right? So I feel like that's a little different there with, no, yeah, this is the vision. Like we got to see that through. Whereas this is a corporation company. It sounds like a studio not trying to talk down on the developers that are attempting to do a Bioshock 4 and whatnot, but it just has that feel behind it of facing something that just isn't fully there anymore, unless you have a really cool thing. And then that's even more unfortunate if you have an idea and you just can't like pin it down, but you it's there. It just sucks then that it's taking 10 years. It's costing like studio heads at times, right? Like, is that something to chase? Should the industry be chasing stuff like that? Probably not.
Well, yeah, especially now with how volatile it is. Like layoffs left and right, not making enough money. Like,
and that's kind of what leads us here.
Yeah, if even now, if it did release, Bioshock 4 gets announced at Game Awards, hypothetically, like there's the big fan base like me. I have back of my legs dedicated to it, but like, is it enough to get mass appeal now? Or the Fortnite kids or your
I don't.
Marvel Rival kids gonna care?
I think that's the problem you have with convincing companies right now. Is we know the time people spend on free to play games is so high as opposed to games you have to buy and opposed to games you have to play by yourself, like a single player game. So you justify something that's struggling for this long. You don't. Unfortunately, it does go to the side because it's just not something that's relevant anymore. And I don't think people would be interested in a Bioshock 4. I would not be. I played the first one and I didn't beat it because it got weird at the end. I was like, I'm done. Like, old game old, unfortunately. Happy to get to that twist though. That's awesome. To have played that when it first came out. Wow. No wonder people have tattoos on their legs of it. I get it. Like, the narrative is there, but isn't there a show coming out as well? That's what this push for a game is. They're trying to hit the money there. It's both. This show's in development. Let's have a game come out at the same time.
Say it shows in development for like the third time at this point. I have no hope.
And that's where it's just like, this franchise, just stop. Just leave it alone. I don't know how you recreate that twist. And that seems like the charm of Bioshock at the core. And then it expands from that, I imagine, right? More stuff. Like, the world is there, but like, I don't know. Is it really that drawing of a world to have sequels that are so far and in between that are going to capture people, and shows? I don't think so. I didn't beat them.
I'm shocked that a decade in, they're still willing to dump money into it. Like, you had to have hit that bar at some point where no matter what happens, like, it's just weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
They're talking to the people giving money into it, and they're like, would you kindly please give us more money? They just do.
But you can't say no.
I can't say no.
I get it now.
Kyle, before we move into the Nintendo Direct, I'll talk Octopath. Because it ties into the Direct.
Yeah.
We got a new Octopath announced. And you sent me,
Mhm.
oh, fuck Persona, I'm out of here. What about Octopath?
I didn't say that. What I said is Persona is dead to me. Octopath Rises.
Octopath Rises.
Because I hopped into Persona probably longer ago than I remember. I just, struggled to get back into it. Did a couple days in the cycle of that game, and it was like, I think it's the setting. And I was like, damn, I do want to beat it though. I did want to, but like, going back into it, I was like, like, as much as I want to, this loop is the same. I don't know. And then this week they announced the Persona 3 Reload is leaving Game Pass. So I'm not going to beat it in time. I don't want to do that. So it's dead to me now. I just got to let it go. But before that even happened, last week you mentioned Octopath. So I hopped into Octopath because I'm trying to find a game to play on my phone. I want to use cloud. I want to try to play a game on my phone.
So
They
Xbox
have touch
Cloud?
controls, Xbox Cloud, yeah, remote play or cloud gaming. I wanted to do that, so I was checking out some of the games, and Octopath was there. I'm like, it's pixelated, right? I like hopped in real quick, messed around with the settings as I ran around with a person. I was like, all right, I think I could do this. It honestly controls pretty nicely one hand. You can go back and forth pretty easily. Pretty cool. I want to do more so I can talk about it more in depth. But it caught me, the story caught me way more and a lot quicker. And I think in that moment, I was like, I might just like ditch Persona. I think it's the high school setting. I think I'm pushing through now to get through that and I think I just fell off of it. But yeah, now I'm going to lean on active. Now I have to because Persona's gone. So that's fun. That's why it's dead to me. Game Pass, you pickle. It'll come back in a month or something.
Guess who's back?
It makes sense because it's coming out on Switch too, but it's not on Game Pass. You don't have an option to play it anywhere for free. So I'm not surprised that honestly it's leaving Game Pass for the time. But yeah, you mentioned Octopath, so I hopped in, started playing, and it's nostalgic. Even though I haven't played a lot of type of those games, but I think there's something about the pixelated stuff. It's grabbing me right now. I and I'm enjoying it so far. The story stuff is what's grabbing me, and I'm intrigued to see what the combat and all that develops to be. But so far, mainly it's been really nice to play on my phone. Just kind of, I can like one hand like listen and click through dialogue as I'm just chilling, not wanting to like full on do something. And I'm just again trying to use cloud gaming more to see how that develops, because they have games that have touch controls and they you have specific icons for some games like Citizen Sleeper. Like they're putting in some effort to these touch controls, so I just want to see how that develops and whatnot. But it could be better for sure. But yeah, I don't really have much to say outside of that. Outside of the 2 hours, 3 hours I played of Octopath, like it's grabbed me, and that's that. So the
I
music is awesome.
I'm a big fan of that 2D HD art style they do. Every time it shows up,
Oh
it's
my-
just it's like
It's insane.
it's like something you see in like a shadow box, like something designed and like put all the pieces together and like layered on top of each. Like it just looks so good. And I'm happy that you
The
picked up
light-
Octopath because I said it and I've never actually played it myself. I think I did like an hour on 3DS, I think, when it came out. But it's been another one. It's like, oh, it's on Game Pass. I see it. I look at it every now and then. I'm like, do I have time for this though?
And that's my thing is like I don't. This is probably going to be something I hop off of. As I'm playing it on my phone, I'm like, God, this would be such a good Switch game. It's full price right now. I'm not buying that. I'd also rather wait for the new one coming out, which, yeah, when they showed that off, it caught my attention. You mentioned it last week. I touched Octopath, and then this came out, and I was like, all right, this looks really cool. This Octopath Zero. Don't really understand what's going on with it. But again, a lot of it is the art style is so damn good. I can just repeat what you said. The 2D HD 2D, whatever it is really, really cool. And as I'm walking in and around environments in Octopath, like in caves and then in buildings, as you go deeper into the environment, it's the depth of field, the lighting. It's like, whoa, it's not just a 2D pixel thing. It's gorgeous. It's really pretty.
Speaking of Octopath Traveler Zero, maybe even if you drop off of one, the more I've looked into it, Zero seems like an entirely different thing. I didn't know, but they had a mobile game come out in 2022, Octopath Traveler Champions of the Covenant, which is pretty much what Zero is, but they've reworked tools, story, and completely taking out all the gacha stuff you would expect from mobile games, and kind of built more upon the base building and town building they showed off in the trailer and the direct. So it's a remake, partial reimagining of a mobile game, which is a weird thing. So I'm like, was
Really
there
weird.
a main story in the mobile one? Is that going to be added? Like, so many questions.
Yeah, that makes me like, I'm like really interested in now seeing reviews of that, because yeah, does it feel disconnected and like, oh, it's just like a remaster? Does it feel that way, or does it feel like a full game? Because like those are very, very different.
Because they did some interviews after the direct sense, and they're straight up referring to it as like putting it in the cozy game genre. So I'm like, huh, what a twist. A cool way to expand the IP, but
Yeah,
something I don't think a lot of people would be expecting. Unless you play the mobile game, which if you are, stop it. Get out of it.
well, just don't buy it.
Yeah.
Actually, no, your time is important. They look at your time. Stop playing things that are dumb.
I'm giving them the ad money. Moving on to the Octopath Traveler Zero, announced at the direct. We finally got the direct. First post-launch
Yes.
Nintendo Direct, not counting the Donkey Kong one because that was a solo thing. First post-launch Direct partner showcase, which going in before you even look at, you may have seen my tweets as I have a stroke. I thought having a partner Direct was more important to what the Switch 2 is than just having a straight up Direct. Already right now, my Switch it's collecting dust. I have not really touched it a lot. My girlfriend, I told you she has been playing the shit out of Donkey Kong. I have not been able to touch it if I wanted to. She is almost done with it, having a blast. I have no reason to go back to that game. But it already is at that point of like, I don't have a reason to pick this up. And I've said multiple times, I'm worried that the Switch 2 is going to become another, have these ports years after the fact and have lesser versions and all the stuff like the Switch 1 was. I was like, cool, Porter Showcase. That means there's going to be a lot of new stuff or stuff coming out this year that hasn't been announced yet that they want to release alongside of it. Like, it didn't quite hit that. And I'm back again on my spot of, so what are we doing here? Because Metroid still doesn't have a date. Kirby still doesn't have a date. A lot of the third-party stuff this year isn't coming out or is delayed. Sonic racing game, the physical of that, or I think just the Switch 2 version of that in general is pushed back to 2026, like spring. So I'm like, we're doing this already? Why? I don't want to be waiting extra time to play these games on the console I want to use. And sadly, it seems we're at that spot with this direct right now. But after watching, how are you feeling? Did you have any expectations going in?
I thought and was hopeful for Hades 2. They've been their last bigger update. They said it was the last one before 1.0, and then they did another patch recently, and they're like, sorry, we said this was our last one before 1.0, but we have another little one. So like the next update is 1.0, presumably, and it was a Switch 2 console exclusive, so it's only on PC and Switch 2 when it hits 1.0. But yeah, so I kind of expected that, but that must be farther off than we all expected. That was definitely not going to be like a little shadow drop. Surprise still, no trailer and no date for it. That's kind of odd to me. And then yeah, they didn't really have any expectations outside of those ones, really. Outside of Hades 2. I was just wondering what we were going to see, wondering if Xbox was going to be there and in what way, but
Yeah.
nothing. Which is, again, I don't think is that surprising with what they are trying to do with their platform and what Nintendo is. It's not like Nintendo gave them dev kits openly, probably. They probably waited. I think they probably waited for a chunk of companies. And also, if Xbox is coming out with a handheld, dude, are they going to put more Xbox games on Switch? You know, now that I know I'm kind of skipping to like post-direct stuff with that, but yeah, that's kind of where my head about is that I was surprised no Xbox, but yeah. Other than that, I thought this was kind of what I expected because I wasn't hopeful for a grand stuff, you know?
Which, I mean, speaking of the Xbox handheld tied into this, another one with the Hades 2 was Hollow Knight, which people expected, and then Xbox openly came out and said that you can play it on the ROG Ally at Gamescom this year, which, like, oh, it's here. Why is it's nowhere to be found though? Like, the marketing on these games is wild.
It is. It's really, really weird. But I guess it's just because we think it's supposed to be more. But they showed up at Xbox, they showed up at a Switch, Nintendo, and then they showed up at Xbox again now with Gamescom. It's just more of like why is there no inkling of a date?
Going into the actual direct, as mentioned, it probably wasn't what people were expecting. Octopath Traveler 0 was kind of the big, I think that was the last announcement they did at the end.
Yeah.
Which cool. Again, if it is that mobile thing, I think that would fit perfectly with Switch. I mean, for the people who are looking for an Animal Crossing city builders, to have those relationship things, that seems like a good replacement till we get Animal Crossing something or another. Monster Hunter Stories 3 opened up the show, which I've seen a lot of people excited about. I have not jumped into a Monster Hunter at all, again, just based off the size and scope and time investment of them. I know Stories is kind of a smaller experience and more direct focused and not as open-ended as the mainline games are. So maybe something to look at if I am desperately wanting something new on my Switch. Hyrule Warriors was there. Still no release date.
Yes.
Coming out this year. When? We got 4 months left. What do we do?
Yeah, it's crazy that there's no date on this. I guess they're gonna give it its own direct though. I mean, maybe that's the thing. They'll do that. They'll just keep it tighter to their chest, I guess. Excited for this. I'm casually working through Age of Calamity, and it's just cool. It's just I forget like what it was. So like going back to it, it's like, oh, this is cool. It's cool to like be in the same world, the same map, the same characters, but using them in a drastically different way and just in different abilities and such. And the fact that it's canon is fun. So I'm definitely at some point going to be picking up Age of Imprisonment. Like I am, it's cool. I have not played Dynasty Warriors, which this is all based off of. I did not know that. My first one was the first Hyrule Warriors, so I'm having fun with it. But odd that there's no date, you know? Odd that there's no date.
I love
That's
that
weird.
they're like making it a point this time around because they even said other things like this is a mainline canon entry. I'm like, okay,
With a canonical story to
Yeah.
that leads up to Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah.
it's like a giant mech
That's
at
so
the end. You're like,
unique. I
what the
love
fuck?
that shit. Imagine if like Halo had done shit like that, you know? Gave it like they did Halo Wars, but give us more, right? Other properties, hey, Fallout, do more stuff, right? That's what we want. Do different things like this. It's a cool use of your IP, and the world of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is so strong, and it's cool to interact with it in different ways.
Square Enix also, on top of Octopath Traveler, announced a new game called The Adventures of Elliot: The Millennium Tales, which I've seen a lot of mixed
There's a
reactions
demo.
on. What?
There's a demo out right now for Elliot. Oh. Sorry.
You either like the demo or hate it. Everyone I've seen, it's like there's no middle ground. It's either like this is entirely for me or I have no reason to play this anymore type thing. Like, weird. Yeah, I forgot there was a demo. I could download that and play it. Pick up my Switch again. Yeah, that same
Take it back.
HD 2D art style. God, what else? Final Fantasy Tactics is here. Where are you playing Final Fantasy Tactics? We talked about it at the upcoming games this year. Is that gonna be a Switch game for you? Is that gonna be a cloud gaming Xbox game for you?
Oh, is that on Xbox too?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
That's unfortunate. Because then it's like play anywhere most likely.
Yeah.
Damn, and then I can get on like that's just nice.
Yeah.
Damn. And then Xbox is gonna eventually let me download games to my phone. Like shit. No, I think that's good. That would be a Switch game. I'm desiring a handheld experience beyond just what I have on my Switch, and a game like a tactics game. I started loosely. I went back to Mario and Rabbids and messed around with that for like an hour or two one night, and was like, oh yeah, I want a tactics game. I don't want to really play this Mario Rabbids game, but I'm like, I want something like this. I think.
Maybe.
No, I think Final Fantasy Tactics would stay. I want that on a Switch.
I think I also last year. I think last year I also went back to Mario Rabbids, the second one. I started like did the
Spark of
first world and just did the rest of it in a week. I'm like, I want to get set away again, working on backlog stuff, but the handheld. It just some games fit better. Like Plants vs Zombies remake that they announced that is coming everywhere, and something. The only thing about this game, it gives me hope now that they're looking at the Plants vs Zombies IP, and this will somewhere down the line give me a full remake of Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, the single best third-person shooter on the Xbox One, PS4 platform. Fight me. So good, so balanced.
I could see them doing a remake sequel to it.
Well, sequels. 2 was okay, 3 was bad. Just the first one.
Or like a spiritual successor, essentially. Like I could see them instead of a remaster.
Last one I want to call out. Chronos: The New Dawn showed up, which I was not expecting. This was at a PlayStation showcase end of last year, I believe, and is the follow-up to Bloober Teams after Silent Hill 2 remake. Their new horror survival-focused IP, which I was very surprised to see because it was announced very shortly after Silent Hill 2 remake came out. I'm like, oh, they're just pushing it all buttons. So hopefully this nails it. I like the theme. I like the environment. I like the atmosphere of it a lot. It throws me back to, God, The Medium in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Which was
Same
a game.
color scheme.
Yeah, it was an experience. But
Yeah,
Bloober's getting better. I remember I played Layers of Fear. I think it was their first game they had on Xbox One. I played that and I was like, put a peg in this. And the key team kept popping up everywhere. Came up with the Silent Hill thing, showed their worth with that. Well rewarded respect with it. Now they're trying some new IP, so hopefully it sticks. Happy to see it on Switch. I don't think that would be a Switch game to me, but
Yeah. Especially since it's like coming out right now. It was cool to see. People reviews just went up last week, or people were able to talk about it, and there's like, oh, cool, it's also on Switch too. That's awesome. It's cool. Star Wars Outlaws is dropping on that. I don't know if that was known before this. I didn't realize it.
I think that was the
I want
first
to call
one.
out the Madden feature. I thought that was really cool. That the way they how Nintendo goes in depth on a game. It just was really like entertaining to me to be like, man, they're explaining what Madden is, and I love that.
How are you feeling on
honestly,
Madden?
I want Madden on the Switch. I do. I want it. It's too much money. I don't want to always have to play it on the Switch or whatnot, right? And that kind of makes it. But the idea of just like going on a trip and like just being able to play franchise mode and like start a franchise and just let's see how far I go on this trip. Like that's kind of how I play Madden. Is I'll start a franchise. Sometimes I'll do dumb trades to make my team what I want it to be, and then I'm like, all right, now go. To be able to take that on the go is really, really, really cool. So I just wanted to call that one out. Just a fun thing. Also, the new FC Football Club 26 is also dropping. So, Switch is just getting full on support, and I think games like the sports games really matter. And once we start seeing Call of Duty, some people only buy a sports game and a Call of Duty, and now Switch can be that. That's crazy.
I was pleasantly surprised with how Madden looked. Like in my head, I was doom and glooming that game to wit all end. I was like, this is not going to look good. This is going to look like a Wii game. It looks genuinely great. Like I was shocked, and it gives me hope, like you said, for when Duty comes out, because Duty's the other one. I'm like, are they really going to reach it, or is it going to be like the weird toned down version and like stuff's missing? But like, go ahead, I figure it out. Have faith again.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what Duty looks like.
And then be teabagging people as music by head.
We played Just Dance, the demo, and my daughter loved it. So at some point, I'm probably going to buy Just Dance. I've never played or bought one before this demo. I'm like, that's kind of cool. So it's crazy that they still have Just Dance 26. They're still making them, but it honestly makes a lot of sense why people are still doing it. It's like a great little fun activity. Perfect Switch game. It's weird that on Xbox and other ones, you download an app and you just hold it and it tracks your phone movement. That's like, cool that you figured it out. But
oh yeah, that's weird. I haven't even thought about that, I guess.
Yeah, we looked, I looked into it because I was like, wait, you can get this on Xbox too? Like, what? Yeah, just tracks your phone, which is smart, but come on, companies, give us peripherals.
See, I'm still over here playing Dance
plastic
Central with my
peripherals.
Kinect on Xbox One this year, playing that Kinect Sports.
Hell yeah, I love that. But yeah, I think overall, like a disappointing direct. I don't think there was anything that was like, whoa. I think if you're really into Octopath and into those Square games, you're gonna be very happy with Octopath's Traveler Zero with the new IP with Elliot and such. Like you're gonna be happy with that. But as a partner showcase, it did feel a little weak across the board, which was again, not surprising to me because I wasn't looking for much. You referenced how you're kind of feeling not done with the Switch. That's not the right word. You're in a lull. It's already sitting collecting dust for you. You're waiting for the next game. Whereas that's kind of what I expected, to me, this is what a Nintendo console is. The games will come when they come and when they do, they're going to be great. They're going to be solid. But other than that, it's Switch. We got Mario Kart. That's a party game, baby. Go play that. We also the Switch 2 version of Mario Party Jamboree dropped right recently. So there's drops, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's that surprising. This is an expectation for me. Is it a signal of things worse to come for the Switch? Is it like, is this bad news for the Switch? I don't personally think so.
To me, I'm like, it's weird because like when we talk Nintendo and a lot of people talk Nintendo, they have kind of that give them a shrug, like they're fine doing what they're doing. But I'm like, do you imagine if like this was like the PlayStation 5 and there was just stuff being delayed out of the release window and like not a lot there for fall? Like people would be pissed.
What got delayed for Nintendo though?
Sonic was the
Okay.
what was the other one? It was just in the news, so I'll try finding it.
Okay.
But
I can-
that, in part too, to be fair, I think the Sonic one is just the physical, like the game key card shit that's causing issues, which are like understandable, but still, like, damn. I don't know. It's a weird too because when we talk about like Hyrule, like no date on the first party stuff. The third party is kind of weird. Like it's this first year started out strong. Like Mario Kart, great. Donkey Kong, great. Everyone loves it. Like the pieces are there, and you look ahead, and Pokemon's there, and which Pokemon is weird now. I watched the direct finally. They're doing a lot of weird changes, and I don't know how I feel. But like the pieces are there for it to be a killer year, and now it's just kind of like, what is it gonna be? Is it gonna be 26? Is Prime gonna be delayed? Like, you can only put fall and winter on so many things before. Hey, we're in fall and winter. What's the deal?
Yeah. Yeah, and I do think that's all fair. Like I agree to that. I just don't think I think in a month I'll be there. Feel more like, hey, uh-oh. But to me, I'm like, yeah, it's whatever. Like they'll have time. They'll do a direct for their next game and it'll have a date and it's like, okay, cool. I do worry about like I guess it's hard not to say you're not worried about the no dates across the board for their first party stuff. But yeah, I guess does it really matter if all three? I'm thinking Air Riders.
Hyrule, Metroid.
Yeah, those three. If all three of those dip, and they're one of them is like January, or does that like really matter for the Switches for their first year? I guess for the end of 2025, because
I think if all three of them did, yeah. If one or two did, not as much. But Pokemon being that weird, it's a Switch 1 and Switch 2 release separate. Like, I know Pokemon's, it's dumb to even say because Pokemon's massive, but I'm like, is that going to be the big fall thing? Like the off-brand, not mainline Pokemon, is that going to be the big first fall release? But at the same time, I say that I look at Air Riders, I'm like, is that big enough to be a fall release when we just had Mario Kart? Like, it's just weird. The release schedule is weird, and part of that, I'm sure, is due to Donkey Kong was supposed to be a Switch 1 game, Mario Kart World was supposed to be a Switch 1 game, and like, just how those development timelines fell. But
yeah, it seems like they had a batch of games that they were trying to make, and they was like, all right, this system is not strong enough. We have to commit to a new one. So like things got maybe smushed in a way. Where now it's like a weird like, oh, where do we put stuff? And now it's like, yeah, Mario Kart and Air Riders, with whatever Air Riders turns out to be, we kind of know what it should be based off Air Ride. How do they not step on each other's toes and kind of cannibalize each other? That one should slip out of this year. Give it a spring release. That feels really nice, you know? Yeah, I don't think you need the other two, which, you know, is what it is.
the upside to this direct and all those questions is you would hope that there is a proper direct before the end of the year now for all that stuff. Because if not, is it just going to be, or are they going to do their weird thing where you open Nintendo today on your phone and it's, hey, here's the release date for this? Like, I could see them doing it. They announced this
Pre-orders
Splatoon
next
on it.
week.
Like, yeah. Like, I
Which
hope
honestly I
there
think
is
is
a direct.
fine. Yeah, I think dropping like a pre-order date is fine. You don't need a big thing, but I think if you did no direct at all, that'd be kind of weird. Didn't they say for Hyrule, or maybe it was a different one, that they'll have more info later? So like we know we're getting a direct for something.
I
It is
think
in Hyrule. I'm
you're
pretty sure it
thinking of
is.
Splatoon.
Really?
Because that was the one they're like, here's the release. Look forward to more information in the future on the app, whatever. It's even called, I forgot what it's called.
Platoon Raiders.
Yeah. Let's see. First ever spin-off features Deep Cut Trio. Don't know what that means. Take on a little mechanic. Some online rumors. Oh, it's online rumors. Never mind. But like that's the one too where Splatoon is kind of. I mean, that's one of the big ones for them now for IP wise. Like that would be the one to get it. Metroid Prime has had enough. I think it's been in everywhere. Is that people played it at the beginning of the year before the Switch 2 was out? Like they were playing that before Donkey Kong. Yeah, just weird to me.
They had a poster that said out now.
Yeah,
It's already been out.
people just missed the release.
Yeah. No, I'd imagine you'd get something late August, early September for the rest of the year. That doesn't feel weird to me. I think it's just weird what they didn't give dates to in this direct. I think that's like, oh, really? Like, you really would have thought, but they must. That tells me they have something sooner than later. Sooner also could be 2 months from now.
It was giving the energy of like the directs last year where they would like announce a game and not say anything else about it because it was going to be a Switch 2 game. But like, can't tell you when it's coming out because it's not for the Switch. But wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, it feels like we're at that again after it came out.
Yeah. Which at this point you're like odd, but with everything going on, honestly, maybe they're trying to gauge economic stuff and drop it at the right moment. Maybe there's some supply issues that, you know what, they're like, we got to make sure we have hit at least this number of shipments of supply before we even announce a date, because like we're not sure if we even will have enough. Like there's so many things that are so out of the realm of control for talking, that can affect stuff that who knows.
Weird times.
Yeah, why announce a day when you might raise the price?
Joy-Cons are $100 now, right? Wild.
That is true. Yeah, there are a bunch of stuff. I was looking. I saw the dock price. It's $129.
What?
For another dock. I didn't even know it was $119 before. It's $119 for a dock. I switched to dock, another one, and I was like, well, there goes that idea. I was like, what if I buy another one? Nah, now it's even more.
Like half the size of a toaster. What do you mean?
I know.
It's got 3 ports and one thing to plug it in on. What do you mean? How?
Well, it's got a fan in there.
Yeah,
Got a
right.
doohickey.
It's got the
right?
Nintendo Alarmo fan.
It makes you question how much the Switch console is actually priced. If that's $120.
See, the console, the Switch 2 itself is actually like the $300 price point. The first one was. It's the dock. That's what gets you.
They'll just sell it without the dock.
Perhaps they haven't, honestly. Like, just release it like, here is your mobile only. If you want to play it home, you can. Buy the dock after.
I think then, though, the question becomes, well, why, like, even have the dock in general? So, and I think, yeah.
It's Nintendo's connect to
Because
Bear.
right now the dock you have to put it in the dock for it to share to the TV, right? Like you can't just do USB-C to US, right? So like they don't want you to be able just to plug in and go anywhere. They're like, no, you must use our thing.
No, I mean, like, if you could just buy the Switch, have it be purely a handheld, like there's no option to plug it into your TV unless you get the dock. I don't know, weird Nintendo.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, they did this Switch Lite. I love my Switch. Me and my wife's. We got Switches during the pandemic. Switch Lites, great little console, great little thing. Would love a new edition of that, and that wouldn't surprise me. Before an OLED version of Switch 2, we get one of those with a Joy-Con stay on.
Kyle, what do you got going on this week with your new schedule? You said.
Destiny? Not much during the week. During the week will be Monday through Thursday. Probably will not be streaming now, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be the times to stream. I'll try to get a schedule, but this weekend I'm gone anyway, so we leave Thursday. We go up to Oregon for a wedding, so that'll be fun. But so I will not be really doing much this week at all.
Fair enough.
Just not.
I have no schedule. I got puppy duty now to figure out, and every 15-20 minutes going outside. not being able to sit down and do stuff. So I got no schedule. It's a weird time. It's an exciting time.
Hell
Happy
yeah.
time. With that, we're gonna cut this one short because, as mentioned earlier, I got a call and I need to go to work. Actually,
Hope have fun.
I won't. Till next time, happy gaming. If you find this on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, what did I just? We're also on Good Pods now, and something else I spaced the name out of. We are in more places. Give us a like, follow, comment, share us around. It helps us out. And it has been kind of riding the waves for a little bit here, so any little help we get is awesome and much appreciated. We'll be back in 2 weeks then. This Kyle's gone. I'll do a solo show next week. I'll get a friend down and talk some stuff. I don't know.
Do it.
Till next time, happy gaming. Be good to each other. Peace.